Go to a world identical to reality. The brain is in an illusion called reality. When I woke up, it was reality. A world that couldn't possibly be recreated by the brain. Are we living in the world of our brains? Isn't it actually the brain's world? When I woke up, I was there. I was in a world identical to reality. This is a true story and an account of my real-life experience. At the end, I will explain a simple method for anyone to enter and experience this mysterious world. It is sometimes referred to as the spirit world. It is the same world of spirits often described in books and on the internet. When I woke up, I was lying in my futon. Haven't we been dreaming for a long time? A person can live with just their brain, and the brain can replicate reality. Aren't we seeing reality only through our brains? With a brain, anything is possible. Can we enjoy this delicious taste and flavor just like in reality? The brain remains a mystery. From the very beginning, even before birth, humans don't fully understand their brains. That's true. And now, I would like to address the part that everyone is most curious about. This is the part that everyone wonders about. It's something that everyone experiences. It is the afterlife. The afterlife. It's something everyone is very curious about. If reality is recreated by the brain, then after death, there is a possibility that the world could truly be recreated. And then time ceases to exist. Time is perceived because the brain exists. Because it is perceived by the brain. Time changes and the real world unfolds. This might be the afterlife. In the past, it was believed that the spirit world existed after death, and that there was another world. Many near-death experiencers have shared stories of journeying to a world similar to this one. Nowadays, it seems that more people believe in returning to nature and becoming part of the earth. What exactly is the brain? There are still so many things we don't understand. Have you forgotten about the brain? It is said to be more complex than the mysteries of the universe. After death, the brain doesn't completely stop. Even at birth, we don't fully understand the brain. It's truly mysterious, isn't it? This part is puzzling, isn't it? We don't understand it. And it can recreate a world identical to reality. The brain is capable of complete replication. The brain has the ability to recreate a world identical to reality. This is evident from experience. And in fact, in the following part of the video, it is explained that it is possible to recreate a world even better than reality. It is possible to recreate such a world. There are images of heaven. There are also images that surpass this world. They are rarely seen. There is a world of images that goes beyond reality. It is possible to display them if we use more of the brain's functions. Why didn't we choose a paradise or heaven? There should be better worlds. If we use more of the brain's capacity, we can experience even better worlds. It is possible to create paradises and heavens with the brain. Why did the brain choose reality? Even if the world existed before the brain was born, there is one strange fact. Without the brain, we cannot perceive this world. Is there only one reality in this world? That shouldn't be the case. There must be something more in the still unknown brain. Why? Why did we choose this world? And after death, it is highly possible that the brain will experience a world similar to reality. If that's the case, were the things people said in the past true? The brain recreates reality. This is certain. Therefore, it can be said that heaven and hell exist. The brain recreates reality, exactly the same reality. The reality of the world existed before the brain was born. With the brain, reality can be recreated. The brain first created reality. However, the previous world existed without the brain. Something is strange. Something is strange, don't you think? This is why heaven and hell exist. Heaven is the higher world of the brain mentioned earlier. It is actually possible to create. This is actually experienced. Hell is a lower world than the present one. When a world identical to reality is unfolding, it doesn't necessarily mean it will remain fixed. In fact, the reality I saw is similar to stories of the spirit world. It is more transient and changeable than our reality. The image of reality can sometimes change into hell. I believe this happens very rarely. The possibility of it changing into the lower images of hell cannot be ruled out. Since it is caused by the brain, it is possible. Let's start with hell. You can escape from a negative state. In such cases, the images change to hell. That's why you can't do bad things in this world. What people said in the past can be considered true. In fact, it is easier to display images of hell than those of the real world. When the images change to hell, escaping becomes extremely difficult. Hell can be said to be a world experienced by bad people. From the perspective of the brain's mechanisms, those who fit this description will end up there. When a world identical to reality is unfolding, the images should not change to hell unless something significant happens. If reality changes that much, it is likely because someone did something very bad in this world or their heart has turned into hell. Normally, it is very rare for the images of reality to turn into a dirty hell. However, if a person's brain is completely tainted by filth, the possibility cannot be ruled out. Why did we choose this world? Just like hell, it is highly likely that we chose this ourselves. Even though there is a delicious-looking ice cream in front of us, we are unable to choose it. Why? Even if there is ice cream in front of us, we cannot see it. It seems we are in such a state. The brain has the power to recreate heaven as well. What does it mean to not see the ice cream? The ice cream can be compared to heaven. We are not seeing the images of heaven. When we occasionally see it, it is because our hearts are close to heaven. We are not seeing images superior to those of the real world. It can also be said that the brain is not functioning to that extent. In addition to the images of the real world, there are also superior images of heaven. It is unfortunate that we cannot see them. It is truly unfortunate. We can say that we are not at the level of heaven. We can say that we are stuck at the level of the real world. We cannot see the ice cream. We cannot feel or smell it. Our hearts are not as bad as hell, but they are too immersed in worldly concepts and values. As a result, we have created a situation where we remain in this real world. It is easy to understand when we think about the afterlife. There is a possibility that we have fallen into the world of the living. Unfortunately, we could not go to heaven because we are too immersed in the real world. Some people may see the images change to heaven after death. Can the images suddenly change to heaven? Is that possible? According to what people in the past said, those who did good deeds in this world can go there. There is a possibility that people who are imbued with goodness in all aspects can go. Heaven brings positive effects to the real world. Even in this world, one can gain very positive effects. Simply having the image of heaven can bring mysterious effects to the real world. The brain becomes sharper and your energy increases, eliminating fatigue. You stop having nightmares altogether. It makes you feel as if it truly exists. There will be a significant difference in the lives of those who embrace the idea of heaven and those who do not. Sometimes, you may even catch a glimpse of heaven. In such moments, you can say that you are close to the divine. Living with worldly values can lead to very unfortunate outcomes. What is wrong with worldly values? Acting based on worldly thoughts. This is currently considered to be correct. However, problems arise. The problem is that you become unable to escape the real world, becoming too immersed in concepts and values. This means that the images remain of the real world, and you cannot escape. You remain stuck with the images of the real world, and you become unable to escape. You will remain in the world of the living and will never be able to escape. It is unrealistic for us, who are living with the images of the real world, to see better images. It's difficult to imagine under normal circumstances. It would be very challenging unless something extraordinary happens. And is this world an illusion? Are we trapped beings? Excuse me, but I have a question. If the brain can recreate reality, then isn't our real world also a world recreated solely by the brain? In reality, the body might not hold any deep significance. Isn't the brain everything? If the brain can recreate it, then in reality, the body isn't necessary, is it? That might be true. The body can create the same reality with just the brain. If we have a brain, it is possible to create a body. This world might be a world recreated solely by the brain, and the brain might have existed from the beginning. The body does not exist with just the brain. There was nothing from the start. The body might just be a concept. Let me judge from a spiritual perspective. I will speak based on the thoughts of people from the past. The world you describe as being the same as the real world is the spirit world, and it is where the deceased go. In that place, you should be able to see ghosts. The spirit world is created just like the real world. The real world has various laws, but it is also one of the spirit worlds. The real world is one of the spirit worlds. This means that what people refer to as the afterlife is also a part of the spirit world. We are originally in the same world as the deceased. Regarding heaven and hell, extreme sinners go to hell, and good people go to heaven. The brain creates reality. There is something special about humans who possess such a brain. What is it? It's the brain. The brain is already in a higher state. Humans with such a brain are exceptional beings. There's something here. Don't you think so? Are humans just beings that turn to dust? The brain is evolving. There are many things to consider. We are beings with brains that are evolving in this way. It cannot just end there. With a brain that has the power to create reality, many things become possible. It also has the power to create a world better than the current one. The fact that the brain is exceptional means it is also great. A higher brain can do anything. Near-death experiencers have encountered various mystical worlds. It cannot just end with turning to dust. If the brain can create reality, we can live in a new world. The brain is not just a physical entity. Don't you feel there is something that remains even if it is burned or subjected to anything? I have high expectations for the unknown potential of the brain. The brain absorbs light and emits electricity. It reacts to steam, smoke, and water. Our brains perceive the universe. We can see and experience it. This is about the fact that we are observing the world of the universe. Doesn't it mean that we are the universe itself? The brain is observing the vast and expansive universe. The brain holds all the power of the universe. You are the only one observing this world. You see it through your body. You are not seeing the outside world through someone else's body. You see through your own body, not through others. The same goes for the universe. You see through one body. The world you see is all a reflection of yourself. The universe is the brain, and the world you see is yourself. There is a possibility that we cannot completely disappear with the matter of this world. Finally, I will tell you how to experience this ethereal world. Imagine the sexual energy from your lower body rising up to your brain. Just repeat this. That's all it takes to easily enter the ethereal world.
برای اجرا who understand by clear signs. Its unknown state continues the star. It is unlikely that it will be. Hoy understand. In a lifetime, the fact that it remains unknown gives you a hope and seems the light. Sharing, they are unequal, fallible paradigm, dormant, a mighty universe. As a result, it could be a connection or ambience